Every year, the gap between the top models from Samsung and Apple narrows. But this year, things have taken a new turn. Now, the Galaxy S26 Ultra and iPhone 17 Pro Max differ not only in their specs, but in the actual capabilities and features that are felt in everyday use. Today, we'll figure out which of them truly created the best flagship of the year and which simply made a grand presentation but slightly embellished the reality. In terms of appearance, the Galaxy S26 Ultra remains largely unchanged and generally resembles last year's S25 Ultra. Yes, the case has become slightly softer, and the camera module has been slightly redesigned, but these are mostly cosmetic changes to distinguish the new model from its predecessor. Interestingly, Samsung decided to follow Apple's lead and redesign the case materials for better cooling. It now uses Armor Aluminum 2 instead of titanium. And Apple did the same. With the iPhone 17 Pro Max, titanium is gone. Aluminum is back. It seems metal is dictating trends again. The Galaxy has Gorilla Glass Armor 2 on the front, while the iPhone has Ceramic Shield 2. While the names may differ, both offer the best protection against scratches and drops available today. Although, hopefully, you won't have to test their durability. Let durability remain a nice bonus, not a reason to experiment. By the way, let me know in the comments, how often have you cracked your smartphone screen, and how long have you had to walk around with a spider web on it? When it comes to the screens themselves, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, while not a knockout, still wins by a wide margin. Its display can reach 3,000 nits of brightness, while the Galaxy S26 Ultra inherits the S25 Ultra's panel with a peak brightness of 2,600 nits. However, if you put them side by side, only someone with perfect vision would be able to notice the difference: a sniper or a tennis player, or a sniper who plays tennis after work. You get the idea. Considering how much time we spend staring at screens, it's unlikely that anyone among us is that sharp-eyed. However, this year's Galaxy flagship has an unusual feature that might not please your jealous partner. It's called Privacy Display. The idea is simple. The system protects personal information from prying eyes by darkening certain areas of the screen. You can enable full blackout to hide anything from the sides, or partial blackout, which will only hide sensitive areas like password fields or notifications. But there's a price to pay. To achieve this, Samsung changed the pixel structure, now using so-called narrow and wide pixels. When private mode is activated, some of the wide pixels are turned off, resulting in a drop in brightness and slightly reduced image clarity. Viewing angles are also affected. All in all, this feature is truly interesting and will be useful for many. However, it also comes with trade-offs that won't appeal to everyone. So, does the Galaxy S26 Ultra have any other advantages over the iPhone 17 Pro Max and attract users? Let's find out. First and foremost, the top models from Apple and Samsung always attract attention with their performance. The Galaxy S26 Ultra features a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 processor, a special edition for the Galaxy line, while the iPhone 17 Pro Max runs on the new Apple A19 Pro. Both are flagship chips and represent the pinnacle of their respective ecosystems. But when it comes to raw numbers, Samsung still has the edge. In Geekbench, the Galaxy S26 Ultra scores over 11,000 points, while the iPhone falls short of 10,000. And the difference isn't just noticeable in synthetic benchmarks. In everyday tasks, the Galaxy opens and switches between apps slightly faster. While the gap is small and the iPhone doesn't feel slow, Samsung still takes the win. Furthermore, the Galaxy handles video rendering faster in editing apps. And here, the difference is more noticeable. The potential of the new Snapdragon is much more evident. But in gaming, the situation evens out. After all, mobile games rarely exceed 60 to 120 frames per second, so the Galaxy's extra power doesn't provide a significant advantage. In this scenario, both smartphones perform roughly equally. However, Android now has an additional advantage: expanded gaming capabilities and support for running some PC games via dedicated tools. The iPhone has virtually no competition in this regard, despite some exclusive game versions. As a result, the Galaxy S26 Ultra appears to be a more powerful and flexible solution. offering users slightly more freedom and options. Unfortunately, Samsung hasn't yet joined the giant battery race, so the Galaxy S26 Ultra has a 5,000 mAh battery. By 2026 standards, that's no longer a record, but rather a modest standard. The iPhone 17 Pro Max isn't far behind though, with a 4,823 mAh battery. There's a difference, but in practice, it makes little difference. In reality, both smartphones deliver just over 10 hours of screen-on time. However, the Galaxy S26 Ultra takes the cake in charging speed. Samsung has finally added support for adapters up to 60W, while the iPhone 17 Pro Max is limited to around 40W. As a result, after 30 minutes, the Samsung reaches around 70% charge, while the iPhone reaches around 50%. There's a caveat though. To truly appreciate this difference, you'll need to purchase a suitable power adapter separately. Neither Apple nor Samsung includes a charger, only a cable and a SIM card pin. But while battery life is more or less predictable, the cameras always steal the show. And here's the real kicker. Who really deserves the title of best camera phone? Without pixel peeping, both smartphones take really great photos. But if you do start nitpicking, it becomes clear that the Samsung flagship brightens shots and captures more detail in challenging, contrasty lighting. Sometimes the iPhone catches up, but then the photos look a little flatter. However, if you mostly photograph signs, posters, and other flat objects, you might not notice the difference at all. In terms of zoom, the Samsung has an advantage, but not as dramatic as you might expect. At 3x zoom, the S26 Ultra produces a cleaner, more detailed image, although the iPhone also holds its own. Here's an interesting point. The iPhone's 4x telephoto lens shoots roughly on par with the Samsung's 5x telephoto lens without a clear dip. However, at 10x hybrid zoom, the Samsung pulls ahead noticeably thanks to its better detail. Here, the difference is noticeable even without a sniper's eye. The ultra-wide cameras of both flagships are practically equal. The main differences are in color reproduction. Samsung produces brighter and more saturated images, while the iPhone sticks to more natural and slightly muted tones. In video, both smartphones shoot confidently in 4K with their main cameras. Traditionally, the iPhone produces a warmer image, while the Samsung produces a cooler one. If you zoom in very closely, you can try to detect the difference in detail, but it's so minimal that it's sometimes difficult to tell which one has the most detail. However, with standard stabilization, the Samsung appears slightly more confident. When walking, it better absorbs sudden vibrations, while the iPhone sometimes misses jerks. However, the iPhone's enhanced stabilization mode is more stable. On the Samsung, it feels like it occasionally takes a break and doesn't always activate correctly. In night photography, the approaches differ. The iPhone tries to brighten the image by slightly illuminating the scene, while Samsung opts for a more natural atmosphere. As a result, the Ultra shots look cleaner, and it also handles glare from light sources better. When it comes to telephoto lenses, Samsung's advantage is more noticeable. Firstly, it has a dedicated 3x module. Videos at this zoom level look more detailed. Secondly, the 5x telephoto lens has a higher resolution than the iPhone's 4x lens. Therefore, the S26 Ultra not only zooms in further, but also preserves more detail. In the end, Samsung has truly released a flagship this time around that not only matches the iPhone 17 Pro Max, but even surpasses it in some scenarios. Which one do you think is the better one? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you liked the video, please support the channel with a like and a subscription. See you in future videos.